The intention of today's video is to talk about a problem which is seen worldwide. It is basically a disease that most people can call on a surface level, and that is none other than AIDS. AIDS is caused by HIV virus. Now, till here, everybody is aware that okay, AIDS is caused by HIV virus, but what this AIDS is all about, we'll talk about that in this video. AIDS is caused by a virus which is called as HIV, and this is going to alter your immune system. Immune system is very important to protect you from several infections, be it bacterial infections or infections related with different type of parasites, like toxoplasma. And of course, these infections are so harmful that they may even be fatal, right? So, what happens here in AIDS is that you get prone to such infections, and now you are so prone to them that you can easily get them without any discomfort. Because the virus which is causing this issue in you is the HIV virus, and it is affecting your immune system to a level where you won't even realize that you are prone to this infection and you are into this whole trap, okay? Because see, a lot of times you might have heard that people who have this problem called as AIDS, they're not curable. That means their death is finalized. Then you might wonder that death is finalized to literally everybody on this planet, right? But what's so special you see here is that your lifespan is going to be lowered down. There would be a decline that will be observed. Okay. So, what is going to happen? I'm going to tell you the exact procedure. A lot of times it's a taboo to talk about this topic called as AIDS, because the source of this infection is usually the exchange of the body fluids. And a lot of times people, don't like really want to talk about such things, because they think that's a taboo to talk about it. It may not be a topic to discuss freely about. Okay, but we need to understand that this is a virus. It is existing in this very society, and talking about it or maybe spreading a bit of the awareness can actually help a lot of people. So why not? Even I'm somebody who is not some genius or something, but as a very ordinary person, if I'm talking about it, I don't think so that this a little bit of effort of mine would ever go in vain. Okay, so let's talk about the sources through which you can definitely be prone to HIV virus. The first is obviously the exchange of the body fluid, and for that very purpose, you have a lot of condoms and a lot of these things are advertised, and you may use it for those purposes as well. And through the injection needles as well, you may see the transfer taking place. And there are many other ways also that you will be able to see. Okay, for example, if you have a room with 10 people who are injecting some kind of drugs, okay, now obviously each one of them are not going to use separate drugs. Okay, I mean the separate injection, sorry. That injection will remain common for everybody else in the room, right? So that means there is a very high chance that maybe one of the persons out in the room that may already have AIDS in them and they don't even realize this, right? So because of that person, it can cause this disease to literally everybody else in the room. So that's how it all works out. Okay? So I need you to understand one thing, that HIV virus is going to have the genomic material, the genetic material, okay, that is going to contain all the hazardous entity which is responsible for causing the very same. So what happens is that the moment this HIV goes in you, okay, it is first going to enter to your macrophages, right? See, if you don't know about macrophages, are some specific cells which are there in your body. They are responsible for protecting you against infections, but there are several cells which are found in your body which will protect you against infections. And macrophages, they're one of those cells which are responsible for the very same. So what you will see is that this HIV virus, it is so manipulative, it is so powerful that it will literally hijack the macrophage cell. And the moment it hijacks that macrophage cell, okay, you will actually see that it will start to produce more and more viruses as such. That means its ultimate intention is to create an army out of it, because over here, you know very well, there's a saying that quality matters over quantity. But you need to understand that HIV, in terms of quality, is the best. It is a very strong virus. That means quality is something that it naturally has. And now it is also going to increase its quantity. So you can imagine what will happen in your body, right? And this is also one of the things that you observe, that if you have AIDS, right, your body is not able to even understand that you have AIDS, because there is something called as reverse transcriptase procedure which gets followed. Okay, where your RNA, that is a genomic HIV, is going to produce DNA. Now, this might look very, this might sound very bizarre, because we know one thing, that according to central dogma, DNA produces RNA and RNA produces protein. So, how come RNA is able to produce DNA? So, well, you can see that there's a great level of reversibility which is taking place over here. And because of that, your RNA is able to produce DNA. And that's why I have said that this virus is actually very powerful, it's very manipulative. That was my intention of saying, because you see how manipulative it is. That means your body will not even realize that you have this virus in you. Okay, and it will just stay in your body for several years, and you won't even realize. It will keep making like several viruses all through your body. Okay, your body cells are going to get infected by this. Okay, and the symptoms are also not going to be shown. And a lot of times, it has been seen that your symptoms are shown after a decade, and till then your body is now completely ruined. And if I talk about these symptoms, they are also very mild. Symptoms would be getting fever, diarrhea, these are very basic symptoms, right? So of course it will be very hard for us to actually realize it, whether we actually have it or not. And that's why even what happens is that our immune system overall, it also gets damaged to an extent where it is not able to signal us regarding the same, right? Your body is not able to understand what's going on, right? So it's a very hard time for your body to figure out what's going on. And that's why you won't like get any such signals accordingly. So you have some cells called as interferons in your body. These interferons are sort of protein based. So somewhere they will act, sometimes, and they will wake your immune system up. Okay, make your immune system realize that, okay, something is going wrong in your body, something is happening, check it out, right? Because at this point, your immune system is not able to work, right? So you need somebody to wake it up, so that it could be at least aware of whatever the jobs, whatever the deeds being performed by these HIV virus. That's why it's very hazardous for us. Okay, because it has the property of reverse transcriptase, and this is the whole procedure which gets followed. Okay, that means it is going to reverse the order of central dogma. And central dogma is something which is quite universal. And imagine it is getting reversed. So that's why our body will actually won't even realize that the DNA that is getting produced is not an actual DNA that we have. Rather, it is a viral DNA. This viral DNA is actually not produced by us, but it was produced by this HIV virus. And that's why it becomes very hard for us to identify. And that's why the symptoms they show up like so many years later. And there is a test which is used to detect this very problem of AIDS. And that test is basically the ELISA test. But a lot of people, they're quite hesitant to meet a doctor and maybe tell them that I'm feeling those symptoms, and because it's a taboo in a society, and a lot of people, they don't want to talk about it, and that's why they'll be left behind and they'll die earlier you know so you will just wonder that what can we do then, because let's imagine you have AIDS now, then what are you supposed to do in that case? Well, in that case, you need to understand first that HIV is a retrovirus. So, of course, the kind of drugs in the form of supplements that you will be taking, they should be antiretroviral drugs. That's what you're supposed to take. Okay, and when you take those antiretroviral drugs, you can see some effects going on. Okay, that means if you are, let's say that HIV has fixed your death at this much time, okay, then you can just increase that up, and maybe whatever is your lifespan is going to be, you may increase a few years of that. I mean, at the end of the day, you will die early because I've already mentioned that your immune system is getting damaged. You are prone to infections, okay, like the bacterial infections, the infections related with your parasites as well. I've given the example of toxoplasma. You're quite prone to such infections, right? There are very high odds that you will die early than other people. Okay, but of course, when you take those antiretroviral drugs, it can actually help you a lot. Okay, to maybe come out from that loophole. Like not entirely, you can never come out entirely, but maybe it can help you a bit, providing some kind of aid, you know, you know, against the AIDS, So that's how it all works out. The main thing is that when the exchange of body fluids occur, that will actually cause this very issue to arise. So that's how your AIDS is so harmful. So firstly, it was affecting your macrophages the moment it entered your body. Then you will see that your red blood cells will also get affected by this. Straight away it will move your T lymphocytes. They will also be reduced. What happens is that you have two lymphocytes in your body. You have T lymphocytes and you have B lymphocytes. B lymphocytes, if you know, they are present in your bone marrow, and they are the main lymphocytes. Like when I'm studying, I imagine them to be the head main lymphocytes. And T lymphocytes are working as some kind of assistant. I mean, that's how I imagine it. That T lymphocytes are the assistant of B lymphocytes. So HIV, when it is entering your body, it is going to first harm your T lymphocytes, and it will decrease its number. Okay, and T lymphocytes is very important for like protecting your body against all those infections which I've discussed about, right? So obviously, if it is protecting you from those infections and now they're lowering down, their numbers are decreasing, then obviously in that case you're prone to those infections. Will die early, like obviously. Bacterial infections are very harmful. Okay, you cannot underestimate that. Okay, the moment you'll conquer them, I mean, you will never be able to conquer them later on. So that's how harmful it will go. Okay, so that was about this video. Okay, we've discussed about the A's, like what's the procedure. We also discussed about a very important concept here, that was about the reverse transcriptase, where your, your body is getting manipulated somewhere, I would say. That's how I can call it. Okay, because you should understand that HIV virus, any virus, okay, like at least most of the viruses, they first have this envelope, and within the envelope, they will enclose their genomic material. Okay, and I mean, it's usually the RNA which is there in that genomic material. Okay, so this RNA, when it will enter your body, it pretty much knows that I'm an RNA. If I'll enter like this, in that case, this body will be able to identify me that this is something foreign which is coming from outside. And then all these T lymphocytes will act on me, they will kill me. So, if you look in the point of view of an HIV virus, it would like to do something different, right? And that's why it has adopted this method of the reverse transcriptase, so that it can easily manipulate your body. It will synthesize DNA, which is not an actual DNA, it is a viral DNA. Okay, but your body will not be able to realize that. And also, slowly, you will see that your immune system will get damaged, and eventually, you will die early. Okay, so ELISA is a diagnostics test, you can go for that. And after that, you will take those antiretroviral drugs, probably, and they may help you a bit. But you should understand that AIDS is something which was like firstly it was discovered for the first time. It was observed during 1980s. So it is not a very old story. Okay, this has been discovered recently. Even calling 1980s being discovered recently is also not wrong. But somewhere you can see that about more than 25 million people who have been killed because of this very disease, right? So that's how it's going to work out. So that was all about this video. Thank you.